almost last year, actually. There's one video that doesn't qualify for that list. Oh, an infinity book. Just infinity. Nothing else. Lovely. For when I need to reserve a bow. I guess it's useful. I mean, not really, but whatever, right? Yeah, if I get enough Patreon support, I will have enough money to upgrade my computer, and then I can record games such as Space Engineers, which is very similar to Minecraft. It is basically a space variant of Minecraft. There is all kinds of lovely, fun things to do in Space Engineers. There is... Sorry, I'm comparing the bows that I have. Needs flame, needs infinity, needs an extra pump, an extra level of punch, and 2 levels of power. Flame 1, infinity 1, punch 2, power 5 is what it needs. And, you know, perhaps at some point mending would be nice. What would it take for this thing to get fully repaired anyways? Well, of course that's too expensive. That's too expensive no matter what I do. What about if I were to grab one of these, though? One of these. Yeah. If it was just mending, just adding mending, what is the cost? 6 levels. Or 13 if the other way around. If adding those enchantments to the mending bow. That is extremely cheap. And then if I were to do it to this one instead, ooh boy, suddenly we're talking. You know, this would upgrade the power to power 4. Gives the flame, gives mending, fully repairs it. 22 levels. Pretty worthwhile investment. And then I can use the infinity book to actually switch it back over to infinity from the mending. Or no, wait, no, I can't do it that way. I'll think of something. Okay. Yeah, I'll think of something. But yeah, I have a Patreon specifically for if anyone wants to pledge a donation to my channel. It would really help me go a long way. I currently create all of this content in my spare time. My laptop is a dual-core GPU clocked at, I think, 1.3 gigahertz. To give you an idea of how old that is, they don't make dual cores anymore. They stopped production on those about a decade ago. 10 years. So they stopped production on those on dual cores entirely, like at least 5 years ago, guaranteed. My computer has a dual core integrated graphics card processing unit, which means they soldered the processor onto the motherboard and they designed it in a way that has the processor acting as the graphics card as well, which gives me a little bit of wiggle room. It makes it so that I technically have 8 gigabytes of RAM on my laptop. However, 6 of those 8 gigabytes are provided by the processor itself, which does complicate things a little bit when running higher end games such as Space Engineers or Minecraft in some cases. Specifically, modded Minecraft is quite intensive. I used to be able to record in such conditions. However, there was a virus that was attacking the processor cores and the in the Windows 7 range, as well as a few other ranges. And Microsoft's solution to this was to reserve an entire processing core for the kernel memory. I do plan to sideload a copy of Kali Linux onto the laptop in order to bypass this reserved processor space, freeing it up for actually fully utilizing the hardware. It should provide a lovely, refreshing processing boost that I have not seen on that computer for a very long time. The benefit of doing that is going to be very immense. However, first I have to make enough room on the hard drive to actually store the entirety of the Kali Linux update, or the entirety of the Kali Linux operating system for a time being, or at least I have to make enough room on the hard drive for Kali Linux, basically. It's easy enough to do, but there's enough material to move that it kind of is a little bit difficult, because I have to include the VMware in the amount of reserved space, and because I have to include the VMware, I have to include enough space to actually run the operating system in such a condition as to reach the point where I can transfer files between Windows and Kali Linux. There's going to be a point where I'm going to need to figure out what I'm trying to do with the operating system. I'm going to have to basically spend a few days just swapping over to Kali Linux, transferring all of the files over to the new operating system. because there's gigabytes to transfer over, and they're transferring from the Windows operating system to Kali Linux operating system. And in the process, they're getting all of their permissions reviewed and everything like that, and it's just going to be this massive big mess before I finally remove the Windows 7 operating system in order to reinstall it, hopefully, in order to fix basically any issues that it might have had. I know that a lot of it is going to require me to do things such as having a backup flash drive prepared in case I need to prematurely fix my Windows operating system. I plan to fix that at some point because I kind of messed up my security permissions on a lot of my Windows operating system, and I restricted it to the point where I accidentally restricted myself from some things. However, I'm pretty sure that if I manage to fix the dynamic link library, that I won't need to worry about that. I'll just need to reinstall a bunch of different updates in order to properly fix the operating system. The progress of like how everything is set up should not be too heavily affected as long as I manage to get the operating system functional. I used to, when I was growing up, I used to fiddle around with MS-DOS and Dr. DOS or DR DOS. The Dr. DOS, as I like to call it, and as it was decently well known as, was very useful because it included a help file in the installation, unlike the MS-DOS, which provided a rudimentary help file but did not actually provide a verbose help file that was widely used. There was a lot of vagueness in the Windows operating system for the way to use it. It was very difficult to find out what you needed in order to fix your system, because a lot of the time it just wouldn't tell you. You'd be sitting there and you'd be like, well, okay, I have this error. What does this error actually mean? And you'd go to look it up and you'd find absolutely nothing. You would have no clue. And it's like, well, how am I supposed to look this up? Oh, well, you're supposed to use the internet. But what if the problem is that, like, maybe the internet settings are messed up, and maybe that's what it's trying to tell me? Oh, well, you'll have to use the internet to figure that out. But I'm trying to do networking. Yep, just hop on the internet and you'll get it figured out. It's like, you people don't understand how this works, do you? Are you sure you people have used computers before? they basically expect you to utilize their software and only their software. And it's like, well, what if we don't? Well, then too bad. They don't really give you other options. So yeah, a lot of people liked the Dr. DOS program, specifically because it would teach them how to use Microsoft DOS, which was a great advertising point for them at one point. However, I'm pretty sure the reason the company went under had something to do with the fact that they were probably liable once they admitted that you could use Dr. DOS to learn MS-DOS. And it's like, well, I don't think you can actually admit that on TV and get away with it. I'm pretty sure that's what happened to that company. However, if the program is still around, which it should be, it was freeware, open source at that. Therefore, I'm pretty sure Dr. DOS is still available for download if you are interested in the Microsoft DOS program. However, Microsoft has since switched over to PowerShell, I believe. Therefore, it would not do you much good to study MS-DOS unless you were studying for something on a Windows 7 operating system, or perhaps one of the older versions of Windows, such as NT or ME or CE or 98 or 2000 or something like that. Something that specifically directly involves a much older version of Windows. And the reason why it would need to involve an older version of Windows is because the newer versions just don't make use of that type of stuff anymore. The newer versions are all running PowerShell. Therefore, what use are they going to have for MS-DOS? MS-DOS is a bit of an antiquated product by this point. Okay. Got myself a bunch of kelp. Run over to the kelp farm. Hop in the bed over here. And then run up to the smoker and load up a bunch of kelp, I suppose. How much kelp we got left in this thing? Plenty. While we're at it, we can even load up some of this cod that is in need of smoking as well. And even probably the majority of the salmon that I am carrying. There, I loaded up all the cod that I had and all of the salmon that I had with one space reserved for each. And now I'm retrieving all of this kelp in order to load it up into the system. Yeah, see? I'd have fallen right into the water source of that farm had I not prepared in advance a way to just walk out of the water source. Now let me retrieve a few levels here. That way I can stay roughly level 30. Oh my, that is a lot of kelp. Yeah, that's 49 blocks of kelp. Good Lord. 49 dried kelp blocks. It has been smelting kelp this entire time. Just one kelp after another. Good Lord. It has been busy. So busy, in fact, that I actually had to move where the the kelp was being stored because I had to move it over. Okay, I am now level 36. I am eager and raring to go. As soon as I get rid of these goats. Those goats are annoying. Okay. I tried to close the menu fast enough. Didn't work. Yeah. You know, Space Engineers is a lot like Minecraft, but in space. Meanwhile, Final Fantasy XI is an online, a massive multiplayer online role-playing game, which I really look forward to getting back into again. However, it's like $13 a month, which is not the kind of money that I have. On top of that, there's the fact that I need to have the hardware able to record the gameplay. Not just the hardware available to play the game and the money available to pay for the subscription, but additionally, I need to have the hardware available to record the game, because I want to record it for my lovely fans, you people. I know various places are trying to compete with YouTube for various video spots. However, some of these places are kind of well known exclusively for certain aspects. I know some companies are going kind of the direction of Tumblr, let's say, which Tumblr had a great following. However, once they decided to not have any form of mature content on their service, the service kind of just died out. Even MySpace got more popular when that happened. That was surprising. Because I hadn't heard about MySpace in a long time. I'm sure there are a lot of people who are watching this who have no idea what MySpace is. If you do remember MySpace, you are at least of a decent age. MySpace died out pretty quickly. What do we got? We got Thorns 2, Protection 3, Power 3, Multi-Shot 1. Well, we already have a Thorns 2 one, so we are definitely getting Thorns 3 now. That's 18 levels, that's 12 levels. Let's go for that. I suppose I can do this. That's 35 levels. Oh my. Like, I would love to be able to stream the content that I want to stream, and I would love to be able to stream it, not just, record it and upload it. That's really the biggest struggle. Is I need 1,000 subscribers in order to live stream, and I need 4,000 hours watched within the last 28 days in order to live stream. I also need that same amount of minimum requirement for advertising, with a few extra requirements, but I already met those requirements, actually. I was supposed to get my channel, verified or something. But in order to live stream content, I need to have a minimum number of subscribers. I need to have a minimum number of hours watched within the last 28 days. Respiration 3. That goes on helmets. Can I get, Respiration 4 on this? Is that a thing? No. No, it is not. Can I maybe get a replacement helmet? Can I finally prepare, I should say, a replacement helmet for my current diamond helmet? Oh my. I should probably reclaim the iron in my pants and just use regular pants by this point, because those pants are totally about to just fall apart. Okay. Yeah, as I was saying, I would love to be able to stream the content that I want to stream, which would be, MMORPG type of content, where I'm sitting there basically going full ninja, trying to avoid just massive armies of monsters as I navigate the different maps, going and exploring all of the different maps, navigating to each and every different location as the different jobs, and as I continue to level up. A lot of it will be Valkyrie Dunes party invites, because it's just probably the most common thing until level 40. There's really nothing to be done about that. It's just the way the game is. It's the way the game has evolved its current leveling system. Once they introduced level sync, most people tended to not leave Valkyrie Dunes for extended periods of time. Some people didn't even leave it until they were level 75 or 50 or 99. Some people were level 50 and they were like, well, how do I advance beyond 50? I've been at this for 3 hours. And it's like, bro, you've been at this for 3 hours? Dude, go to Matt and Juno and have him freaking, do the level breaker on you, and you'll get a bunch of experience. On top of that, I'm pretty sure you have a bunch of over-level experience from just being beyond your maximum experience. And they were like, oh, wow, that's cool. I didn't even know that. It's like, bro, how could you not know that? And they were like, well, I got another question for you. Who's Matt and where's Juno? I'm like, okay, Who's Matt I can forgive you for, but where's Juno? Are you joking? What level are you again? I went, I'm level 50. I went, are you sure? Because that's not a question I have ever heard a single level 50 ever ask me. You know, it's baffling how little some of these players know these days just because they don't want to take the time to actually go out and explore, or they don't want to take the time to go out of their way and find something that they're able to do in game, something that they can actually make use of. Like, these players have no idea what they're doing, and it becomes very, very obvious very quickly because they really don't have any clue. Okay, now that is a problem because that means I now have 2 full stacks of pufferfish. And it's just draining away all of this kelp. Ever so slowly. I gotta look at the C2 fishing rod. I have another mending bow, which I don't need. Okay, so I can upgrade that. I can give it Unbreaking 3 first to give it a little bit of extra health. Oh, well, okay then. I used up an entire anvil again. Whoops. Well, I was going to merge this mending bow with this other bow up here and just kind of have them somewhat cancel each other out. Don't I have an infinity book? Yes, I do. Okay, now what I was going to do is I was going to have... where's my grindstone? I was going to have this mending bow become an infinity bow. Tell you what, if I mix it with this one, and then I merge the two, that should remove all forms of repairing metadata from the bow. Now I can set it to this. That'll cost me a lot of experience, but I can fully repair that bow. Now I can deposit all of this extra stuff, including these. Matter of fact, I'm going to use these lily pads because I want to make use of the ability to stand on water. There we go. Pretty soon I shall have enough lily pads to cover the entire place. In the meantime, I want to test this. Can I drop those underneath, have them float up, and pick them up from below? Or from above, I mean. Yes, I can, was the answer. Yeah, everything seems to be planted. It's just some of it's not growing. It's weird. Like this one. Why is this one not growing? Oh. What the heck? Oh, okay. That's interesting. Apparently, if kelp grows into a lily pad section, the lily pad loses. I did not know that before. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. That's actually a potential way to observe if a kelp is ready for harvest. Also, where did that kelp go? Did that delete the kelp? No, I found it. Okay. I was like, did that delete the kelp? No, it didn't. Yeah. I would like to be able to make the content that I want to make, as opposed to just the content that I can make. There is a difference between the two. Like, if I got to make the videos that I wanted to make all day, I'd be sitting here playing like MMORPGs. I'd be playing probably games like Perfect Dark Zero, games like I'd probably try out League of Legends. Like, if someone pays me to try League of Legends, yeah, I'd probably try League of Legends just because they paid me for it. But additionally, like, if you really want me to play a game bad enough, like, just help me get a computer that is able to actually play it, and yeah, I'll probably give it a try. Just because I want to test what my computer is able to do. I want to test something that is relevant to operating the system. That's one of the things that I have a tendency to do, is I tend to push the limits of whatever computing device I am using. I was pushing the device limits of calculators in school. Back when I was in like 5th grade, I was sitting there fiddling around with calculators and figuring out how to make it go over its all of the different ways I could make it go over its limit for things that it could count. The E. I would figure out the different ways I could make it trigger the E status on a calculator. What's the minimum number of calculations type of situation. And that was just what I did for fun. And that kind of upscales when factoring in, computers, like actual straight up computers. That scales up. That ends up being a part of what I like to do. That's why my computer, despite being only a dual core with an extremely laughable amount of RAM and processing power and all of that, despite all of that, it is still a decent machine. Now, I'm pretty sure I do not have dark oak saplings. Well, that changes a few things. This guy has dark oak saplings, and I don't have dark oak saplings. Therefore, I need to retrieve my emeralds from my storage, because this guy has an item that I need. I additionally have a few items to drop off, a few items to pick up. This is going to be a nice little field trip away from all of the fishing that we've been doing. We've also been growing a lot of pumpkins. The pumpkins are very useful for lanterns. Deposit the tripwire hooks, deposit the string, deposit the name tags. Hop down here. Yeah, that's one of the spawners that I've located. And now I need to head over here where all of my other books are. Where's the boots? Feather falling 4. Aha! I can upgrade my feather falling. Where is it? There it is. That one. What if we swap it? Well, that's 23, but still. "34 levels. Well, I suppose I do have some coal that I can use. I don't want to stick down here for too long, because if I do, I'll miss out on my opportunity to get the dark oak saplings off of that trader. But I do want to merge the feather falling enchantments in order to prepare my boots. I'm up to level 32 currently. $37. What did I need? I believe I needed 34 or 23. No, but that switches that over to Bane of Arthropods. I don't want Bane of Arthropods. Or no, what is it I don't want? Oh wait, this one has protection. Let's see, this one has Smite, Unbreaking, Riptide. This one has... Let's see, Feather Falling, Depth Strider. And Thorns, Protection, and Smite. Thorns, Protection. Okay, this one loses Smite for Bane of Arthropods. That's what it is. Then Unbreaking 3, Riptide 2, Infinity 1. I don't think those get changed at all. Yeah, those don't get changed at all. Lure 3, Power 3, Multi-Shot, Knockback. Yeah. So the difference is this one has Bane of Arthropods 4, this one has Smite 3. I'll take the Smite 3. Oops. I accidentally grabbed the Bane of Arthropods 4. Does not matter either way. Because it's still a very, very overpowered enchantment for these boots. 34 levels to enchant it. Has Protection 4, Feather Falling 4, Thorns 3, Depth Strider 3, Unbreaking 3. Apparently Feather Falling 4 is the best you can get. The only real difference is the Depth Strider 3 and the Thorns 3. This one would probably benefit more. Okay, I need to swim up to the surface. I was thinking about potentially redoing my plan for the mine entrance. I think it might look better if I extend the pattern over to the path for the mine, as I think that will provide it a bit of a facelift, if you will. Okay. Pleasure doing business with you. Let's deposit these dark oak saplings, and this blue ice is going to be very useful. I think I need a 9x9 crafting grid to check and see if this was the compressed or if there was one more. No, yeah, this looks like it. Yeah. See, here we have packed ice. We can make blue ice out of compact ice, but we can't make anything with the blue ice, and that's because the blue ice is amazing in the fact that blue ice can be used when paired with a lava source block in order to create basalt, which means we are able to go down here. We are able to do something that we have not been able to do for a very, very long time. We are able to run, actually let me grab the minecart, but we're able to run all the way down to the end. Which side's the minecart on? Oh, I have the minecart. Okay, that works. Yeah, we're able to ride this minecart all the way down to the very end, ignoring all of the slimes that we pass along the way, as they very easily end up far beyond render distance. We shall jump out here because we need lava. Okay, now we go running after the minecart to retrieve it. However, the majority of the distance was covered by the minecart. Therefore, thank you, minecart, because it's doing a lot of long distance travel, and it's doing it faster than we can run it at that.